Hello, Sci Fi Gangsters. The show we talk about science fiction. We talk about nerd things. We talk about toxic masculinity. We don't talk about that. We talk about
We could.
Jeremy's 4chan account where he
Oh,
harasses ladies on there.
yeah.
Really, what this is it's just a chance for me to catch up with my friends. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. So, Anthony Denar, Jeremy, Acid Train, and then of course we have a special guest here. We have Tony Henderson. Tony, how are you doing?
Hey man, I'm good, and it's good to see you. We used to chit chat a while ago and stayed in touch, and here I am. So
Yeah,
it's good to see you, man.
Tony, you're definitely one of those those Facebook friends where you're like, how do I know this person again? And but yeah, we knew each other back when. Did we both perform it? Did you perform at No Shame as well? Is that where we knew each other from?
Yeah, I think it. And I'm with you. Even I'm like, where did this guy come from? Um, but yeah, man, we both used to perform at No Shame, and which was an open mic here in Columbus, Georgia, where I live, and yeah, look at us now.
That's right. So Tony, you're broadcasting from Columbus, Georgia,
With
right?
an
So
epic beard, I must say. That is an
Oh,
amazing
thank
beard
you,
you have.
thank you. I've been working on it. It's the COVID beard.
Nice.
it's very epic. It's well groomed too.
It is
Well
well
groomed.
groomed.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna do it right.
I like the salt and pepper too. I like it how it goes into the white there. I really enjoy that. It looks really good. Is what I'm saying. But it's good to have you here, Tony. Tony. Obviously, you have your own podcast. Was it Tony P. Oddcast? Is that what it is?
That's correct. Thanks, man. I vowed I would plug it every 2 minutes, but no, I won't do that. But yeah, man, it's Tony P. Oddcast or wherever you listen to this show. I'm also on YouTube, just like you guys. I talk about weird and wacky news. That's pretty much it. I don't like the regular news, so I find the funny news and talk about that.
I like that kind of news. That's good news.
Well, there you go. You can follow. You can listen.
Any
to all
socials
that
and
from-
anything at the end of the stream we'll have in the description below the video.
Excellent. Perfect. I like it. So you go out and check Tony, his podcast where he grooms his beard live. He streams it live. You can comment on it. So definitely check that out. But Tony, good to have you here. Tony, this is the way we're going to do things here. This is the way the show is well, first off, we just catch up. Right? We share stories. And then we have a couple topics. So today's topics, we're talking about the Joker, comments about it being, what was the comment again? That it's a betrayal of the mentally ill. We'll talk about that a little bit. Maybe I'll talk about my paper that I wrote about the Joker. Tony, I don't know if you know this. I'm a PhD student at Georgia State University. I wrote a seminar paper on the Joker, and I'm going to share it. I'm going to share my whole paper. I want to read my whole paper to you.
That's what this is. It's
Please
your dissertation. Yeah.
Yes, it's just a practice.
I
of my
can mute
dissertation.
Anthony. Hang on. Give me a second.
I'm looking for notes and feedback. But yeah, so we'll talk about the Joker. Then obviously no one knows. We know that today we're going to talk about our top 3 most anticipated video game releases. So you're going to share that. I'm taking a back seat, right? Acid, you took a back seat last time we did our top 5. I'll take a back seat. I want to listen to everybody else. And then we always end off with a trivia game. Always fun, a good time had by all. But first, we start off by describing, just by catching up. Me, I'm pretty excited. I have that comedy show, that Zoom comedy show that I'll be attending tonight at 9 p.m. Much later than I wanted to, but it's Pacific time. But Jimmy Pardo, my favorite comedian, is hosting a Zoom comedy show. He does a podcast. He's been doing podcasting for like 13 years, and he's having a Zoom comedy show. I'm pretty excited about it. Maybe he'll do some crowd work because that's all he does.
Can you heckle while in the Zoom comedy show?
I'm pretty sure you might be able to do that, and then he'll probably make fun of you for a long time, which is what he does. And that's
Well, as long
why
as
I
you get
love
the
it.
opportunity, I think that's all that matters.
I do. I genuinely hope that he talks to me. Like I hope that is a thing. I hope he.
Also sad.
It did come off a little sad. I hope that I can make a connection with him so that I will not be so sad all the time.
He needs a bromance with this guy.
I'm looking forward to my parasocial relationship. Oh yeah,
That was
so
funny, man. That would be awesome if it would be an honor if he heckled you. So fingers crossed.
I
don't know. I've been to comedy shows. It was pretty easy to get heckled. You just had to be drunk and be an ass.
I don't know how big this audience is going to be. I know. So Jimmy Pardo, that's what he does. He doesn't have like material. He just does crowd work the entire time. That's kind of his thing. So there's a good chance that maybe he'll just ask, like, hey, what's your name? What are you doing? Like that sort of thing. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm excited about it. Not excited about staying up as late as the comedy show is, but definitely looking forward to that. But what about, should we move on to Acid? Acid, you've left us on the edge of our seats because you sent us a text message.
I did.
With a picture.
I had to, and unfortunately, I cannot share the picture on stream. I was told that this picture could not be posted on any social media platforms. I have it on my phone still, so if I ever see you guys, I'll definitely show you the pictures. So, Tony, you may not know, I am a bus driver. So I think it was Thursday afternoon.
Like school or city?
Yes, school. I'm a school bus driver. Mm-hmm. And I'm on my way to my first elementary school. Okay. I'm going to go pick up my 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders.
Was this in the morning or
this was in the afternoon?
Afternoon.
Yeah, this was in the afternoon. So I'm headed to pick them up to take them home. So there was a bridge out. So we had to take a longer route. So we went around and we're going through neighborhoods and whatever. So I get to this red light, about to turn on one of our main roads. And I'm just sitting there. And all of a sudden, this car comes drifting through the intersection and rams me in the back left bumper tire side right there, going about 20 miles an hour. And there were about 5 or 6 buses behind me. Both lanes blocked. No one could get in. No one could get out. We're just stuck there. So we had to call the police. My boss came out. They had to drag this other car. Like it would not move. I wouldn't call it totaled, but it wasn't going anywhere anytime soon. They had to drag it onto the tow truck, sweep it up, all that good stuff. Anyway, it put me behind by about 40 or so minutes. To taking all the kids home. So it was fun times. And
how did the other person react? Like,
the other person did not speak English. I'll leave that to your imagination. We got very few words out of him. But it was him, it was his wife or girlfriend in the back seat, and their little baby in the car seat. Which I got out. I do all my post-check stuff when that kind of thing happens, on a bus. I pull the brakes and all that kind of stuff. And I get out and I run over to the other car, just, first to make sure they're okay, because you don't want anybody to be hurt, before I start yelling at them. So I'm making sure they're okay. And then, all I got was, yeah, I'm fine, I guess. And then the police got there. And I mean, what was great about the whole situation is, have you ever watched Tokyo Drift? Do you know the movie? Do you know what I'm talking about? It was the most beautiful drift I had ever seen. Like Hollywood could not have done this better. Like he just came just peeling in. Like I thought he was going to make it. I was going to be impressed, but no, it just right in the back. Like, well, you almost made it.
But
what happened was he
was trying to make the yellow light, because I'm up high enough. I can tell, I'm usually looking at the other green light. So when it turns yellow, I can prepare myself, and then it turned yellow and he was already like mid drift like when it happened. So I wasn't moving. Yeah.
It's not that serious, just wait for the next light. But it sounds like everyone was okay, hopefully.
Yep, everybody was okay. I didn't have any kids on the bus. I hadn't even made it to the school yet. Their family was okay, other than, their car getting, just the front just destroyed. I'm in my bus. Like I've been driving it all week. It's fine. It's got a little dent in it about that big with some scratches.
Wow. So like empty bus, city property versus bus full of children. what's that look like as far as like paperwork and general hassle
I don't have
that you'd
any,
have to do?
I don't have any of that. I'm just the driver. Like my boss would have to take care of all that. Like he had to come out there and like assess the situation, take pictures, all that stuff for insurance purposes. But every bus driver carries the city insurance card for the vehicles and all that. I mean, so all that's, I'm sure it would be the same, other than the fact the added stuff would be child endangerment would probably get added on to whatever.
Angry
happened.
parents and
Right. Like there's a difference between that and running a school bus stop sign, which, by the way, happens all the time. It's ridiculous how many times it happens. It's happened to me, I think, 2 or 3 times this week.
So paint that picture to me. So I'm trying to figure out how the scene. So
Sure.
is this driver on the opposite side going like this?
No.
No. Are they behind you? What's going on?
Okay, so you're sitting straight at a red light. Okay.
Right.
You're looking at the red light. You can go straight, or you can take a left, or you can take a right. Okay. So you're looking straight. He's coming from the right side and peels all the way over to my left side, drifts over to my left side, and hits the back end at about 15, 20 miles an hour in mid drift. Again, most beautiful drift I'd ever. Just
So
like I wish I'd have had a camera, because I'd have been filming the whole thing. Granted, the bus cameras probably did catch it, so I'm sure the film is out there somewhere.
And then I only have one more follow-up question.
Okay.
The wheels on the bus, what do they do again?
Well, 3 of them now, or should I say 4 of them now, go round and round. The other ones
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Plumpity, because they're little dented wheels now.
So here's what you do. Tonight at the comedy show, bring a pen and paper and take notes.
There you go.
No, I'm gonna do the joke. I'm gonna do the joke every time. Do the joke every time.
Oh man.
All right, so Acid, it's good to know that you stayed safe.
Yeah, we're good.
Right. It's good.
We'll just start a new segment. What happened on the bus this week? It's like
you have a lot of drama.
We get crazy stuff happen every week.
All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll move on to Jeremy. Jeremy, how you doing? What's new?
Good. So I am all caught up on Mandalorian.
Okay.
And
Is that the whole? Did they dump the whole season out, or is it just one episode?
No, they're doing one episode a week.
Okay.
Which I'm glad they're doing it that way, because I'm really happy with this season so far. Like each episode's been top notch. So,
do we want to talk about it, or is this something that we don't
talk
want
about it?
Don't talk about it.
Don't talk about it. I don't care for Star Wars very much. I'm more the Star Trek guy, but I'm not opposed to the Mandalorian. Like my wife watches it. Like
it is very, very good.
It's like Star Trek speed. It's very slow paced. It's very story heavy. Like I've been enjoying it so far.
And I would normally say up until I'm not caught up at all. I haven't watched the season at all. And I would say normally you don't need to be a big Star Wars fan to keep up with it. But I hear they're dipping into some other canons, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, like I don't think you have to be a fan to enjoy it, but like there's obviously those little tidbits there for the fans of references and things like that, and some of them like really deep cuts that I think fans of any level can sort of glean something extra from it because the mythology is really strong in the show.
Speaking of deep cuts, I heard did anyone watch that holiday special?
I haven't watched it yet. I'm really excited to watch it.
Nor have I, but I've also heard good things. So, because it gives us plenty of stuff to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it. The trailer. I thought it took just the right sort of tone, so I'm hoping it stands out.
Honestly, like I kind of forgot till I was like, hell, I might watch it tonight. Can we wrap this up? That sounds like fun.
Well, Tony's got to get out of here. He's got to
He's got to leave now. All right, Tony. It's nice to meet you, bud.
But anything, Jeremy? Anything else going on in your life? You've been working out. I keep bringing this up. I don't know why I find it. Have you been working out? What have you been working on? Glutes.
Sure. I've been working my gluteal muscles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, so I did.
I could tell. I could see it.
Hey, I did play a game over the past week or so. It was the Batman Telltale sort of very
Telltale series are good.
Yeah, they're fun. I mean, it's essentially it's a visual novel essentially because your choices don't have that much effect. But I like them; they're fun. So I played the Game of Thrones one. At some point, I intend to play the Walking Dead series.
You'll like that one.
But yeah, so I got the Batman one, played through it. I enjoyed it a lot. Got the second one, haven't started it yet, but
sounds exciting. Working out, playing some video games, always good. We'll move on to Tony P. Tony, do you mind if I ask what the P stands for?
Awesome. The P stands for awesome.
Okay, sure, yes.
Yeah, I get that asked a lot, and that's always the answer.
Okay.
Someone told me once, well, actually, it would be possum. All right, sure, I'll take it. I don't want to tell you guys how to run your show, but you open up with the guy in the Tokyo Drift bus accident. That's hard to really top. My day job, I work from home, so I've just been home and doing a lot of nothing. I have been playing some Call of Duty. The new one came out last week. I traditionally come wintertime pick up Call of Duty.
Now there's a new Call of Duty that comes out like once every 2 weeks, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not a fan of this one. Yeah, but
okay.
I don't have to wait very long because, to your point, there'll be another one, coming along.
I think 3 days from now, I think it's the next one. Call of Duty 776. And that's not the year. That's the number of Call of Duties that are out there right now.
But that's really it, man. I also do the podcast and YouTube thing. So I've really just been busy with that in between my day job. I'll say only after my day job do I do that stuff, just to be for the record, maybe I'll wink. So those on YouTube will see me winking. So yeah, that's it, man. Podcast, YouTube, and a little bit of Call of Duty.
Nice.
Stuck in the house. I'm, going to go see the family for Thanksgiving. And so I'm trying to quarantine and stay in, and
you got to go far,
all that stuff. So
Tony, you're planning on seeing the family this holidays. I canceled my trip. Usually we go down to Miami every Thanksgiving. We ended up canceling that trip because of COVID. But Tony, you believe in spreading COVID. So what does your family live close? How's that?
Yeah. They're close. So they're in the same city, and it's just the two of them. So it's just my mom and my dad. So we'll keep it pretty small. Like I said, I'm going to self-quarantine. I'm actually going to go get a rapid test next week before I go over there. So they're pretty serious about it. I would feel like a complete jerkhole if they caught COVID. I brought it over there. So I'm trying to do the right thing, Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, driving to Miami is much different than just going over your parents' house.
Yeah, I'm literally driving up the street. It's maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes. So,
well, it sounds like you're going to have a good time this Thanksgiving. Wash your hands, right? If you're going to cough in your elbow. I don't know. Just be safe. So should we move on to our first topic? Are we going to do the video games first? Are we going to do talk about the Joker first? What are we going to do?
You're leading this.
You're running this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm running the thing. Okay.
All right. So I guess get out your dissertation. Just put it away. I don't want to hear about it.
All right. So we'll start off with the Joker. So obviously, I want to talk about the viral news that was going around about David Fincher made a comment about the Joker.
I will say that I saw absolutely nothing about this other than what you sent.
Really?
So I don't know how viral it actually was. But
it was going around all of the websites.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Negative news is going to go viral no matter what it is. I mean, puppy drowns in peanut butter. That's going to go viral, okay? No matter what it is. Yeah.
That just sounds delicious. But yeah, so we can talk about this for a second. Tony, did you hear about this before? Or is this
No, I'm with Jeremy. you sent an article. You're like, hey man, come on the show. We're gonna chat about this article. I was like, sure, that'd be great. And I assumed, I was like, did he just pull up like a 1 year old article he wanted to talk about? That's fine. I mean, that's cool, man. I'm honored to be invited, but that's weird. It's let's talk about old news.
All right.
Podcast,
so you know what? How dare all of you? How dare you? So this was going viral on all the Joker websites that I go to. And all the,
I don't want to know all the Joker websites you go to.
It was going all over Tumblr. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about this article. So David Fincher was interviewed, and he was talking about the Joker, and it was actually a long quote, but the thing that everybody took out of the quote was he apparently said that the Joker was a betrayal of the mentally ill, right? Which he actually didn't really say, but people took that quote and they used that as their headline of their articles for almost every article that, talk about like geek culture or whatever. So that was kind of like the big news of the week, apparently, just to me and my Tumblr fandom that I go to. But yeah, I kind of want to talk about a little bit, and it kind of gives me an avenue to sort of talk about my paper that I wrote in my seminar.
Here we go.
But yeah, so let me read the quote, because I think it's very important, because many of the articles that use this as their headline said Joker is a betrayal of the mentally ill, making it seem like David Fincher was saying that the film was a betrayal of the mentally ill, right? So like in a negative quote. But I do want to read the quote to you, because I think it's important that we read the quote. And I want to get my computer here. So this is his actual quote, because he was talking about the Joker, and he said, nobody would have thought they had a shot at a giant hit with Joker. Had The Dark Knight. I don't think anyone would have looked at the material and thought, yeah, let's take Travis Bickle and Rupert Pumpkin and conflate them, then trap him in a betrayal of the mentally ill and trot it out for $1 billion. All right, so he mentions Travis Bickle and Rupert Pumpkin, who are two characters from Taxi Driver and King of Comedy, right? So he's talking about those two characters. So when he says conflate the two, what he means is essentially just taking that archetype of like a mentally challenged loner, which is very stereotypical of a Scorsese film. But reading that quote, you can see that it's pretty clear that what he's saying here, I think you could interpret it as him saying that the Joker was meant to be a representation of the betrayal of the mentally ill, which is different from saying that the film itself is a betrayal of the mentally ill, right? So I think it's really important that we kind of bring that up. But I'm actually interested in because me and Jeremy have kind of gone back and forth on how we feel about the Joker. I'm conflicted about the Joker. I think I'm leaning on the side that I don't think it's a very good film. Jeremy loves it. When he goes on 4chan, he talks about it all the time. But I'm just curious how you guys felt about the Joker before I kind of do my little spiel.
The Joker should have never gone past Jack Nicholson, in my opinion. Perfect Joker. As far as I'm concerned, an original is perfect. He did a fantastic job. And this goes not just with, the Joker by itself. This goes on, for at least in my opinion, on any type of when you start remaking stuff. Like when you start remaking stuff over and over, or having spin-offs or whatever you want to call them, you lose flavor. And you should have just left it there.
So you're going with Jack Nicholson, so not even Heath Ledger. That's surprising.
No, not even.
All right, Tony, what did you feel about the Joker? Did you like it? Did you like it?
I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a different take. And normally I would agree that, when you make a copy of a copy of a copy, like it starts to lose. We've seen that, unfortunately, with a lot of Star Wars stuff. But the uniqueness of the Joker is he really doesn't have any one origin story. And, so I like, especially for Joker, just random different tellings of what it may be or how he may have gotten there. And even with this one, we don't know if it's quite, really what the story is, and if it's a reliable telling of his own story. So I enjoyed it. I liked it. Now, let's not forget. I mean, you guys are just acting like Jared Leto Joker doesn't count. Like he doesn't exist.
I like Jared Leto as a Joker.
I would say
I'm totally okay with that style Joker.
so. You enjoyed the film, Jeremy. What did you actually enjoy about the film? Why would you say that the Joker is a good film?
So like The Dark Knight, I think, is a comic book movie that happens to be a very good film. The Joker is a very good film that just happens to be set in a comic book universe. I mean, the storytelling, the acting, the cinematography. I mean, it was a nice tight package of the things that make movies good.
Yeah. So here's my issues with the Joker, and it has less to do with the fact that it's essentially, it's I don't want to say it's completely just copying off of The King of Comedy and Martin Scorsese. I think it's intended to be like that.
I mean, everything is at some point, like there's three types of stories, right? At some point, if you break it down, everything is built off something else at this point.
It's a tribute, and I'm totally fine with that. That's actually not why I have an issue with it. I have two main issues with the film, and it's because they both have inconsistent messages, right? So the people who defend the Joker often talk about how it's sort of like it's a depiction of the mentally ill and the betrayal of society and taking care of the mentally ill, right? So that you can see it that way, and I can most certainly see it that way. And not to get too academic here, but if we wanted to interpret it as what's often called a dismodernist text, so dismodernist text is the idea that the character embraces their mental illness and sort of shows that everybody else, like the mentally ill, are actually the real person, and everybody else is just performing. That's kind of the idea behind dismodernism. And if that is the case, but I think there's definitely elements of that, and I think that the ending of the film shows that, where he essentially just he no longer wants to perform, and he kind of embraces his identity as mentally challenged and broken, right? And then he wants to break down the system around him. So if you can, most certainly, I can see that being sort of like a revolution fantasy, right? And I can see why people get behind that. But it's inconsistent with that message, though, as well, because he is painted as a villain, though, right? He's painted as a dangerous, mentally challenged villain. And I think the other, and he's often kind of painted as there's something disturbingly wrong with him in terms of his physical appearance as well. But I think the one thing that bothers me the most about this film is the gun. Is the use of the gun. Like the gun is the driving motivation to his liberation, right? I mean, it's painted that way on purpose. And the reason why I don't enjoy this is because I think it gels too well. I don't want to say it's a representation. It gels too well with the good guy with a gun myth, right? So this idea that you need to be constantly armed because at any point you could be in danger, and even more, you could defend other people. Like this idea that if you're not armed, if you're armed, you could become a hero at any moment, right? That's kind of like that myth of the good guy with a gun myth. And I feel like that it gels way too well with that. And if we want to dissect that one scene where he's getting picked on by the Wall Street guys, right? He's completely defenseless until he uses the gun. So I mean, his whole power comes from the use of the gun. And I feel like if we wanted to say, like, if it was a knife or something like that, or some other weapon, I think I could get down with it more. But the idea, the use of the gun bothers me because of that.
So what if it was a rocket launcher?
right.
Or a mallet.
Yeah. Now, okay, you said mallet. That's funny because in Mortal Kombat 11, again, a big gamer here, Joker is one of the characters, and he uses his mallet. I mean, that is his weapon.
Now, I think Anthony. So the gun didn't bother me because he's going down this slope, and kind of getting there. And that's one thing I really liked about the movie. Through the entirety of it, I was just uncomfortable and felt like icky. I was like, I don't know. I just don't feel good about this. So it kept that feeling through the whole movie. But as he's going down the slope, he wouldn't kill his first person brutally with like a knife. Guns are, I don't want to get into a whole gun debate, but guns are easy. You know, it's easy to kill someone with a gun. So I was going to say, I couldn't tell if he froze or if he just really agreed with me. He was looking like, I was like, man, he's really listening.
Yeah,
I think we lost him. Yep. Jeremy, you're now the host.
Oh,
congratulations!
Finally,
power.
Guys. I feel like this is what you've been going for a while. So I'm glad I could. I'm glad I could help out.
All right, let's see what I can do here.
Nothing. Leave them. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, so like as far as the gun thing, I was the same way. Like the gun to me was just a gun, and I didn't see anything else in it.
Oh, there he is, and in the totally wrong place. He is now. You are now Tony P. That is who you are.
Oh no!
And we can't hear you.
Can you not hear me?
Now we can.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, my computer is still frozen over here, so that's fantastic. But yeah, so Acid, was anyone commenting on that, saying that I should stop trying to cancel the Joker? Is that what they're saying?
No, we already gotten into the video game segment.
What was funny? What was funny was I was disagreeing with you about the gun, and I didn't know you froze. I was like, he's really intently listening to this comment here. He's not even moving. But I'll pick back up. What I was saying was it's the whole movie's the Joker kind of downward slope as he's falling into, wherever he's going. And I just think guns are an easy way to kill someone. It's easy to get scared and pull a trigger versus having to like brutally stab somebody. That's just a completely way more intimate act that I just don't see his first kill would be. It's kind of like a cat killer thing. You don't just start stabbing, it's usually something small and it goes to something else. So I say all that to say the gun part didn't bother me as much as it did you.
Yeah, I think what you're bringing up, like the practicality of the scene itself. Like in order for it to make sense, the gun is necessary for the narrative, right? Because I guess it wouldn't. It's so much easier to have. Okay, well, he just has a gun and it accidentally goes off, right? So I get that, but it just felt like the use of the gun as his primary like his liberation doesn't gel with. I mean, it bothers me because of the climate that we're in now, where the gun is this image of like masculinity as well, and so you can make this argument that he was sort of feminized at the beginning of the film, and then there's this moment where he gets the gun and he becomes almost like a man, right? And to me, there's a lot of things that sort of are inconsistent in terms of its messages of like no film is completely transgressive and no film is completely regressive. So there's a fault line there. But I just felt like there's many messages where I just felt like wasn't crazy about what this is supposed to be conveying to us.
It sounds like it may have been a little heavy-handed to you. If would you agree? It was just kind of heavy-handed. Like, let's make it a gun.
Yeah, I feel like it gels too well with some of the toxic elements that you see online, and that's what bothered me. But
is that the fault of the film, right? Like, is it the responsibility of artists to be concerned about what people will do with what they make? Like, I mean, I thought the whole revolution and the Joker's our hero thing was ludicrous because the guy's obviously a psychopath.
Okay.
So everyone who did that obviously took the entire wrong message from the movie. But I don't fault the movie for, 14-year-olds thinking, he's their next philosopher.
Right, but I agree with you 100%. That I think the director's intent and what gets conveyed are two completely different things. And we're getting to like film criticism and film theory, like this idea that the director's intent does not matter at all. What matters is what messages are getting perpetuated through the film itself, right?
Yeah, and so how, I mean, you know, in say someone watches it in 200 years, right, and the whole gun thing is done with, and I don't think the gun thing is modern either, right? Like that's the whole Samuel Colt quote of, you know, the Colt 45 is a great equalizer among men, right? So I mean, I agree that once he has that, he feels like he is now powerful enough to make a difference in his environment and stand up for himself. But I mean, I think that's just the nature of weapons, not specifically a gun.
It's ideology, right? It's our value system that gets perpetuated in the film, right? So it's sort of like this unconscious attitude that we have. That to him, he may have been thinking, this is just practically like, I need something practical here, which is he has a gun and it accidentally goes off, and that creates a chain. But yeah, so I think so. Once again, those are the sort of the things that bother me about the film. If you like the film, great. If you don't like the film, great. If you see the Joker as someone who represents the marginalized, and you see that as like, you identify with that character because of that, great. I'm just saying like that those are the things that. And trust me, I've looked on Tumblr. There are people who identify with this character.
No doubt. Unfortunately, there are. I think it was Jeremy that said, you know, people that think he's their savior now, you know, and so it's unfortunate. But I agree with you. They're out there that think.
And I don't even mean like white incels. I mean people who ignore the violent elements of it and just embrace his marginalized element, like his characteristic. So like they kind of just ignore that part, all the violence, and they just embrace the fact that he's this outcast. So yeah, and it's kind of the same people who idolize the Columbine shooters. Like they identify with the fact that these are marginal characters that are oppressed or whatever you want to talk about.
What areas of the internet have you been going to?
Look, this is the things that I study, and
he's got a list of websites that he can't rattle off right now because it's they're illegal.
But yeah, that's
also when he drops off again, it's probably because the FBI is at his door.
Yeah.
So you know, we'll wrap the show up. Yeah.
Yeah. So we definitely need to move on to our next topic. But once again, I think it's Acid. Has anyone said anything about this? If you disagree with me, that's totally fine. Like I like that's totally like you can disagree with me. I completely.
I just ever since I said out loud, now I want to see the movie recut with a mallet. I just think it's a whole new level.
It'll be on HBO Max in 2020.
Zack Snyder's doing it right.
And the dance after he kills somebody, the dance that he does in the mirror. That's anyway. Moving on. Our next topic. So our next topic we're going to talk about here is top 3 anticipated video games, the video games that you're excited about. And I'm taking a backseat on this one because I am someone who I play video games often, but I tend to stick with just 1 or 2 like titles. So I play Call of Duty, I play Monster Hunter, and I play Madden, and that's kind of what I stick with. So there's not a lot of games that I'm looking forward to. But I feel like we're going to go ahead and start with the top 3 for each person. We'll talk about it, each person, and then we'll just move all the way down to 1. So we'll go ahead and start off with Jeremy. Jeremy, what's your number 3?
Adam, is that okay, or does it need to be in certain order?
Just say what you want, and I'll put it up on the screen for you.
Okay, so my number 3 is Hogwarts Legacy. So this is I'm kind of nervous about it because I got a feeling it's either going to be terrible or it could be great. Could be great. I don't know. But it's an open world RPG set in what would be considered the Harry Potter universe, except it's over 100 years before that whole story takes place. So it's a very rich universe to draw from. So there can be a lot of really cool things. But I think that the company who's making it, I think they were founded or they were created just to make this game. So I'm not sure they have a whole lot of experience. I don't know if the developers came from other companies or whatnot. So I have a lot of hope for it. If it's good, I feel like I'm going to really like it, really enjoy it. But yeah, so I'm excited for it. I'll get it regardless. But they're going to have some work to really make it stand out as an RPG, I think.
So the RPG open world, is that what you said? And
yeah.
And what do you play it on? What platforms?
So it's going to be all platforms, pretty much.
So just a bunch of wizards.
My only concern is by the time it comes out. So J.K. Rowling in the Harry Potter world, the stock's kind of fallen.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of concerned, like, by the time this game actually comes out, will it have the support and backing that it needs?
Yeah. This sort of thing kind of happened back when I was a kid. There was a game coming out called Star Trek Secret of Vulcan Fury. And I was super excited about it. Like, it was the only thing that I wanted in life. And they were plagued by issues, and they had
complete with this game.
Yeah. I literally remember saying, once I play this, I'll be okay dying. Like, it was the one thing like wow. I just had to play.
Big statement.
And yeah, and it was sort of like there was, and it wasn't like developer drama, but it was, Star Trek in the background and Paramount. They had all these issues and interplay and stuff, and it ended up a lot of money went into it, and then it just got shelved and was never finished. So I think this game is farther along, so I don't think that'll happen, but as long as there's Twitter, there could definitely be a situation where support and funding dries up.
And that explains why you're still alive. So it kind of worked out. I'm happy.
The day that game comes out, though.
Mark your calendars, whatever year that will be.
I'm just picturing like a sad 12-year-old Jeremy just ready to go. Just getting ready for that Star Trek game. But yeah, so Acid, we'll go ahead and go with you with your number 3.
Okay, so this game actually drops next week. It's by this small indie company you may know as Blizzard Entertainment. It is the next expansion to World of Warcraft. It's called Shadowlands. A lot of things happening here. This game is 14 years old now. I think they just celebrated their 14th anniversary. I think 8 million. I think they have about as many expansions as there are Call of Duties. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so long story short, you have Horde, you have Alliance. They've been battling for many, many, many years. One war chief after the other, either dying or leaving or whatever. So anyway, Sylvanas, the latest war chief, decides she wants to take over everything, even death itself. So she goes, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Lich King, if you've ever heard lore of the Lich King in World of Warcraft from Warcraft 3. Well, there always must be a Lich King to basically rally the Scourge or the undead to keep them at bay from taking over everything. So she goes to the Lich King and ends up destroying his helmet, which held all his power, and has now opened the realm to the Shadowlands, which basically is the realm between life and death. Not going to get too much into it. It's looking pretty good. We were a little skeptical as far as World of Warcraft players are concerned. We were afraid they were going to rush it out. But the good news is that they did delay it. This was actually supposed to come out last month, but they delayed it for about a month or so to do some polishing and make sure everything's going to run smoothly. And I'm pretty excited about it.
What's the
are the Horde and the Alliance still battling each other?
They're always battling each other.
Okay.
Always.
As you were telling it, I thought maybe they were like teaming up. I was like, oh.
They team up every once in a while. That seems to be a theme. Like every once in a while, like some of them will meld together and defeat the greater evil, and then there's still PvP. You can still go and gank the other faction whenever you want to. So yeah.
Is this just a story module, or does it add like extra features?
Yes. I mean, big story module always. Since the game has been going on for so long, the last expansion, which was Battle for Azeroth, the level cap was 120. I mean, it's just gotten completely insane.
Yeah,
so
what
they
did it start at?
they started at 60. So when
60?
World of Warcraft came out, the level cap was 60. Well, it's doubled. Excuse me. And so they've done a level squish. So all the damage, all the healing, all the levels, all the item levels for your gear, they have just nerfed it all. We're going back to the original where your max level is 60. So that's kind of nice. And of course, they've got new battlegrounds and new arenas and new play styles and new abilities and old abilities coming back and new abilities leaving. And they do all this kind of stuff to make it feel fresh. So, but from what I played of the pre-patch, it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it so far.
Well, there you go. Acid enjoying his, looking forward to his World of Warcraft warlock character. Is that what you play as, a warlock? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it is a thing, but I do not play a warlock. I will be maining either my Shadow Priest or my Windwalker Monk.
Well, there you go. I hope you enjoy playing with your Shadow Dancer.
Yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, so number two here, Jeremy. What's your number two?
Well, Anthony, if you don't mind, I would like to mention my number 3.
Yeah.
I'll make it quick.
I just completely left Tony out of it.
Yeah, right. Thanks for having me, guys. I do want to say again, I hate following Acid here. First, it was the bus crash, and I was like, I've been at home. An awesome like passion for World of Warcraft, and that's your number 3, and it's obvious you love it. My number 3 was just Stray, because I was like, oh, you could be a cat. That looks kind of neat, and that's the whole story. There's no passion. It was just that's kind of weird. I wouldn't mind playing that one day, and that was my number 3. So that's it.
So tell me,
Anthony, you're right. We probably should have just skipped over me. It's okay.
No. We're going to focus on this for a long time here. All right. So Stray.
At least 2 hours. I mean.
So you're playing. So you play as a cat. Is it an independent video game, indie game?
Yeah. Look, I saw the preview during one of the PS5 title launches, and I decided a while ago that was the next gen I was going to pick up. I haven't gotten one yet. So listeners, if anyone can help me out, point me in the right direction. But yeah, I was like,
just give him a PlayStation 5.
Sure. Yeah. Oh man, that'd be great.
You're on the internet. You can beg for stuff like that.
But yeah, you're just a cat. Please. I think at some point the cat has like a backpack or something because it has to carry things. And I just saw the preview trailer and I was like, oh, sign me up for that. That looks weird. And honestly, that's the extent of it. Haven't read much about it. I don't know anything about the development. I've just I've played a game as a roach once. That was an old PC game. But
I think I played that game. What was the name of it?
Was it Sim Roach?
No, but it was actually it was kind of cool because it was like a murder mystery.
Yeah.
Roach. Yeah.
I played that game.
But I've never played a game as a cat. So again, that's why it made number 3, just for a fun, weird, random pickup.
Well, it sounds a whole lot of fun. Stray, where you play as a cat, walking through the streets, looking for food. There's a backpack involved, I've heard. So I'm pretty excited about that. So we'll go ahead and move on to number 2 now. Jeremy, what is your number 2?
So my number 2 is a upcoming game, hopefully called Poison Pawn. So like my heart and soul in gaming is old PC adventure games where the story is the main plot, but then there's some puzzles and whatnot. I wasn't quite as big a fan as the almost pure puzzle games like Myst and Riven and whatnot. I like mostly story and then some puzzles and whatnot in there. But this started as a fan-made remake of a game that was a remake of the original. So you play as this private investigator, and it's like a classic hard-boiled Philip Marlowe, Sam Spade kind of character. But it's set in a dystopian the first game was in like the late 2030s, so 2030s to 2040s, San Francisco. So it's like atomic bombs have dropped, the city's in ruins. The schedule has shifted to where people work at night and don't go out during the day. There's mutations and things that happen. But it's a really fun game. So and the last 4 and this one are the what was at one point a big thing called FMV games. So it was full motion video. So they actually have actors and whatnot. So it's not a computer graphics overlay actors like they are now. And it's probably one of the few titles that still does that kind of thing. So it's a lot of fun, and once it comes out, but I think this last one was funded by like a Kickstarter kind of deal. So it's pretty much just when the developers are able to finish it, it'll come out. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for it. I don't know if it'll come out next year. It was supposed to come out in like 2019. So we'll see.
I feel like we're learning a lot about Jeremy today. We learned about his heart and soul is fantasy games. We learned about when he was 12 years old, he wanted to kill himself because he couldn't play a Star Trek game. I'm learning a lot about Jeremy today.
It's not fantasy games. It's adventure games.
Adventure games. Fantastic. All right. So, Acid, we'll go to you. What's your number 2 highly anticipated video game?
Okay. So my number 2 actually just came out this week, actually. It's by the same small indie company, Blizzard Entertainment. They're really small. I mean, their budget is like this big. I mean, I don't know why I love their games so much.
Blizzard fanboy, why don't you move on from another?
But this one is the latest expansion to my favorite card game, Hearthstone. Madness at the Dark Moon Fair. The Dark Moon Fair is also in World of Warcraft, for those of you that did not know. New cards, new features, new fun, goofy stuff. I mean, if you're a card game lover of any kind, definitely worth checking out. A lot of people will say, hey, is it free to play? And I say, yes, it is. Other people will say, no, it's not. It's pay to win. Well, of course it's pay to win. They want you to spend money. But you can still play for free. Great game. Check it out. It's good times all around. A lot of cool different game modes and stuff too. Auto battlers and arenas and battlegrounds and all kinds of stuff. So
sounds like a good time. Card game, Hearthstone.
Hearth.
Is that what's called, Hearthstone?
Like a hearth.
Hard Castle.
Sure.
Hard Castle.
We'll go with that.
So definitely check that game out.
Ironically, is it Hearthstone a Magic card?
Is it?
I think there's I think I could be mistaken.
Now the Hearthstone in World of Warcraft, when used, brought you back to the inn.
I might be thinking the Millstone. I think it's Millstone.
There is a Millstone in Magic. Yeah.
I think I'm mixing it up.
Wasn't Hearthstone? Isn't Hearthstone like an ice cream place? Go to
Coldstone.
That's Coldstone.
Yeah, it's Coldstone.
Yeah, you know. They have the mix-ins at the Hearthstone. You're right.
Yeah, and then they sneeze on it.
All right, so Tony, well, let's get to your number 2.
Yeah, so my number 2, again, they're all, I'll tell you now, they're all PS5 games because I want one.
That's okay.
And mine is Ratchet and Clank. There's a new Ratchet and Clank coming out. Those are just an absolute guilty pleasure for me. It's
this one looks sweet.
Usually, yeah, they're just fun. And it's weird, but they have good sound and there's a lot going on, and it's just a fun, colorful, family-friendly, loud. Like, it's something I always turn up and just like veg out and play Ratchet and Clank. Generally, I don't buy them. It's one I would usually like rent or something because it's not a long title. I don't think it's worthy of like 60 or heck, I guess what are they 70 now? Like I don't know if I'd pay $70 for Ratchet and Clank, but it is what I'm looking forward to playing one of these days. Maybe when it drops in price.
And like 2 years from now, you can get it in the greatest hits bin for $19.99.
Exactly, and it's so worth it.
Yeah, just wait. You just have to wait. It's like, as long as you're patient with video games, you won't spend anything hardly. You're just like, this is a new game. That's great. I'll play it in like 3 years when it's like $5.
And that's me. I'm kind of the kind of behind the guy. Like right now, I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, it's good.
That's a great game. Now, are you playing the original or are you playing the remastered?
Good question. I think it's the remaster.
Is it the remaster?
I think it's the remaster.
Did they remaster it for PS4 Pro?
They remastered. Yeah, they remastered it, and it actually looks really like night and day good.
Now I got to double check. Like, let me make sure I got the remaster. Because I do have a PS4 Pro. But I was like, I should play that one day, and so I picked it up on, some re-release, Yeah.
I kind of my guilty pleasure. Like I bought not too long ago, Destroy All Humans. You remember that game?
Oh, that's another.
And it's a remastered Destroy All Humans, and it's so just sit back, don't even think about anything, and just destroy all the humans. That's exactly all you have to do. It's such a great game.
All right, excellent. So we're at number 2 now. So we're moving on to number 1. This is the number 1, highly anticipated. I'm excited. I can't wait to hear him. Jeremy, what's your number 1?
So my number 1 is the remastered original Mass Effect trilogy. I'll play it on PS5. I've wanted them to, like, I used to get an Xbox every once in a while, but I haven't had one in a while. And PS4 was not really backwards compatible with the older games, so I hadn't played the trilogy in quite a while. And the Mass Effect trilogy is probably one of my, I don't know, top 5 gaming experiences that I can think of. So I'm super excited about it. There are going to be some slightly updated graphics. I still don't think it's going to look, anything close to what some of the newer games are going to look like, but that's okay. They're supposed to be doing some upgrades and whatnot, but I'm mainly just excited to be able to play it on an updated platform and not have to keep older systems lying around to play.
That's why you buy
are they getting rid of the moon lander? So I've heard the same. They're like, dude, these are the best games ever. And this was ages ago. I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to play all 3, which I knew I wasn't going to do because I'm not that committed. And I was really enjoying the first one, except every other mission when you're in the car.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to get away with it, get rid of it. Like, I think they should, because the gameplay got significantly better in the second one. It was annoying, but I'm also not a completionist. So I would do the mission on the planet and then be completely okay leaving all those other things behind and not driving around the entire planet to explore it. So it didn't bother me as much. If I had to go and seek out everything on the planet, it would have been a much bigger deal for me. But
I think that's a good idea if I do it again, to take your advice.
Yeah. But I've got friends who, like, they're going to 100% a game, and that's, they can't stop playing it until they do. And I'm okay leaving it just out there if it's not part of the story.
I usually play to completion, but that's just me personally.
You can't complete Madden, Anthony.
Jeremy, I was gonna say while I have you, it was Bad Mojo was the roach game.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah. I don't remember particularly enjoying it, but I do remember playing it.
All right, Acid, we'll go to you. What's your number 1?
Okay, well, this one also just came out, and guess what? It's not by Blizzard. Okay, so yeah,
it's from Activision.
It is not by Activision either. This game, is by Ubisoft, one of the greatest franchises in all of gaming, in my opinion. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It is you're in Viking land now. You're in England. You're in Norway. It's fantastic times. You play, and you can actually pick when you start the game to be male or female. The same name for either character is Eivor. That's the name of the main character. But yeah, so basically you are this Viking who, and I haven't gotten too far into it yet, so I don't know huge main storyline yet, because they're just basically introducing new things as well from the last Assassin's Creed, which was Odyssey, which so far Odyssey, even to this day, is better than Valhalla, just as far as gameplay and all.
Was Odyssey
the Egyptian one?
No, Odyssey was the one where you're in Greece. So you were doing all the Greek mythology stuff.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, the Egyptian one was Origins.
Yeah, I played like 10 minutes of that.
I have not played Origins. I did not get that one. I probably will eventually when it goes on sale for $19.99. But when Odyssey came out, I was a huge fan anyway of Greek mythology. That was one of the things I thought I would minor in when I thought about going to college, which I did not. But great game anyway. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Valhalla. We're talking about Vikings. They've introduced raids, so you get in your boat and you go raid monk churches, which is interesting. To get their loot, to build your settlement and make it as big as as possible, and you recruit more people to raid more villages and that kind of stuff. So far it's not as big world-wise as Odyssey was. Odyssey's map was massive. This one's about a fourth of that. Now I get there's still they have 2 expansions already planned for this thing. I don't know what they are. I haven't looked into that. I like to be surprised when stuff like that comes out. So if I'm really excited about a game and they do have a season pass available, it's like, okay, well, at least I know that they're going to have more content. So I'm kind of hoping for more content. I'm kind of hoping for it soon because, I'm about 30 hours into it right now, and I don't necessarily know if I'm almost done with the main story or not. But the side stuff is not nearly as vast as it was in Odyssey. Odyssey, you could just, I'm still not at 100% completion with Odyssey, because I'll go back and I'll play it every once in a while just to check some more things off the list.
Are they keeping the through line that they had in the first few games?
Yeah, it's not like talking about like the backstory, the main.
Yeah, what was the guy's name in the?
His name was Desmond. He's not around anymore. Yeah, he's. I can't remember exactly what happened to him, because there was a few games that were they were so bad, gameplay wise. I couldn't make myself play it. Like the controls were awful. Like they were just terrible. The one where you were, I think, in the Renaissance or something like that, that one was the worst one. I did not play Black Flag. I heard it was equally as horrible.
I played all the Renaissance.
You're basically I can't remember her name, but she's from Odyssey too. It's so brief. You don't attach yourselves to these characters because you're in this thing called the Animus, and the Animus is it's her, and she goes into the Animus, and boom, she's Alexios in Odyssey, or she's Eivor in Valhalla, and you're going through their story. You're not going through her story, because it's all weird. They could have left all that out, honestly. I mean, it makes sense in Odyssey that it really did a good job tying it in. Like with the Greek gods and everything that they may come to life through that storyline, and it explains Atlantis and all that stuff through their eyes. Which again, Odyssey, probably the best Assassin's Creed to date.
All right, excellent. So that was Acid's number 1. Tony, let's go to you. What do you have?
Speaking of mythology, it is the next God of War. I've always loved God of War. It's another one that's just super fun. Just the previous ones, just mindless fun. Just hack some stuff up. The latest one, I was really concerned because they sort of redid it. How do you redo, and change the style and format of God of War? But it was really good, and I was expecting to be disappointed. I wasn't. It was amazing. And now there's another one. So I have.
They've
to
announced
get that.
this already because I haven't heard of this, and I was
I
was trying to research it. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Literally, it was the same PS5 like title thing. It was a title screen. That is what that was their announcement.
Kind of like what they do with Elder Scrolls 6.
God of War. What did I say? It's called. I don't even remember. God of War something.
I thought it was just God of War 2.
It's God.
Well, there was already a God of War 2.
I think it's God of War Summer Nights.
Well, this one,
Electric Boogaloo.
Well, this one was this past one was God of War, where there already was a previous game called God of War.
Yeah. Because the original 3 were amazing games. I mean, when I picked up the first one, I remember playing the first one and what an impact that made. I mean, it was just, again, Greek mythology. It was so good.
Athena, that's every time he's just constantly yelling at Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok.
Okay, all right,
that makes sense.
So, and they switched it. They went from the Greek mythology to, I guess, Norse. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Norse mythology
seems to be
now?
the trend these days.
So you get a whole new slew of characters that he can go after. But dang it, God of War's always has this like giant epic feel, and that one didn't disappoint. So
it seemed more like
looking forward to the next
Demon
one.
Souls type gameplay. It looked very the
Yes.
battles and stuff looked very challenging.
Well, this one was different. Like, it was more open world. Like, you could get yourself into some really bad fights that you weren't prepared for.
Because like the originals, you
case.
just go around and hack and slash everything, and it would just die. And it was all about like puzzles. Like you have to go search the puzzles and unlock everything.
Yeah, this one's definitely less hack and slash, but it's still there because I remember thinking I'm going to be disappointed if I don't get to hack and slash some stuff. So I would say it's.
Do you have his chains? His chain blades?
Yeah, you get them.
No slash. What about
just hack?
Yeah, just hack.
All hack, no slash.
Are you okay with that?
I'll take it. I'll take it. Maybe not $70, but I'll take it.
Games are expensive.
Yeah, the chain. I mean, it's an old game now, but you don't see the chains for a very long while, and you just enough where
you kind of know when they're coming, which is awesome.
Yeah, just enough that you get concerned. I was like, are we really not gonna get? And then, like you said, you're like, oh,
that would be my thought too.
Go.
Like, are we really not doing this? Well, I'm going to get my refund.
And it makes it so worth it. Yeah,
I need to play it. I hadn't played it yet.
Oh yeah, dude, it's one. I mean, I'm not a huge gamer, but according to the reviews, one of the best games in a while.
I keep hoping that one day, like all these gaming, like Sony and Microsoft. I know Microsoft already does, but like Sony and Nintendo would just be like, all right, let's just throw everything on PC as well. Let's just, let's do it.
That's the Stadia discussion. That's probably for a different show, but
because I'm a huge PC. I mean, if you buy a PC, if every game is coming to PC, then you only need one. I would rather pay 3 times as much for a PC and have whatever I want to play on it than to buy a console every 7 years or whatever.
All right, well, that was good. So that was our top 3 most anticipated video games. I'm still looking forward to GoldenEye. I'm hoping that will.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one, Anthony. Can't wait till you play. The controller is amazing. You're gonna love the controller.
It's with the one joystick in the middle.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, it's freedom to move that character around.
You don't know until you play.
Is it Acid? Is it time for trivia? You have
it can be time for trivia. I got questions.
Let's do it.
I got questions. The no timer this time. This is just straight up. I'm gonna ask you a question, and if you get it wrong, you're stupid, and if you get it right, you're not as stupid. So
that seems very harsh.
That seems
how you doing this, Acid?
We have 4 categories. Hang on, let me get my glasses because I can't.
Is it like free for all?
You are going to. Some of these are multiple choice. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask the question. You can either write down your answer or whatever, and then one by one, I'll get the answer from you. And I will keep a tally of who is got the most correct answers. And at the end of I have 8 of these. At the end of the 8 questions, the winner gets $20 bajillion. So I hope you're ready for
told PS5.
that's just included anyway. That's just
how
for,
Anthony
just
got me
for
on the
you
show.
coming on, Tony. You get a PlayStation 5.
Gotcha. It's a consolation gift. I appreciate
You're
it,
going to
guys.
get that anyway.
Courtesy of Sci-Fi Gangstas.
Anthony's going to ship that to you. I'm not sure what type of mail he's going to be using, but he'll get that to you as soon as humanly possible, right? Okay. Our categories. Do what? No.
I was just gonna say it may look like a shoebox full of spaghetti, but it's definitely a PS5.
There's a PS5 in there somewhere.
Open it up. Enjoy.
Don't eat it. Okay, our categories tonight are sci-fi and fantasy,
Ooh.
comics and video games, science and technology, and geek life. Okay. Let's start with. I haven't even looked at these yet, actually. I just pulled 2 cards out and hope for the best. Let's go with comics and video games, since I'm a video game guy. All right. In the films, Iron Man's suit is powered by an arc reactor located where? Located where? Okay, now I'm going to give you multiple choice. Sorry. Multiple choice.
Really?
Yeah. Los Angeles. His chest, the suit's palms, or the shield helicarrier.
So why is this one so much easier than the other ones we did last time?
Maybe because it's in a category that you're familiar with.
Okay.
Okay, Anthony, what's your answer?
Chest.
Tony.
I too say chest.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you're all right. Look at you go. Look at you go. You're all winners.
Last time we were asked like to name like all the keys on the keyboard.
Yeah, you're not doing that this time. We'll do that next week.
We did so terribly on that.
You did horribly.
Had to change the questions.
Okay, let's see. Let's go geek life. This one's not multiple choice. What brand of fried crisp is in the shape of a hyperbolic paraboloid? Am I saying that right? Paraboloid.
Yeah.
Yeah, paraboloid. What brand of fried crisp is in the shape of a hyperbolic paraboloid? Gosh, that's weird looking. That just looks weird. Okay. Everybody ready?
Yep.
No.
All right, we're going to start with Tony this time.
I'm gonna guess a cheese puff.
Okay, and Anthony.
Pringles.
Okay, and Jeremy.
Pringles.
The correct answer is Pringles. All right.
So my head was like, all chips look the same.
All chips. Yeah, well, they all taste the same. I mean, let's just be honest.
Damn it!
Some
I wanted
cheese
that
puffs now.
I wanted that PS5.
You're not getting it now. It's done. Back in the PS5.
Okay, what? Okay, this one's sci-fi and fantasy. No multiple choice on this one either. What Johann Strauss composition did Stanley Kubrick use in his soundtrack for 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Say the question again.
What Johann Strauss composition did Stanley Kubrick use in his soundtrack for 2001: A Space Odyssey?
I don't know the name of it. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't either. I was really hoping it was going to be the which Beethoven symphony was in Clockwork Orange.
Where's that multiple choice?
There is no multiple choice, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and skip that.
Is everyone skipping this one, or does somebody have an answer?
I'll guess.
Okay, Tony, what you got, bud?
Was it Sunrise?
It is not Sunrise.
Hate
Anthony?
this show.
I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it.
know any
Okay,
Johann
it's
Strauss.
the Blue Danube Waltz.
Danube.
Danube,
Yes.
sorry, yes. The Blue Danube
Danube.
Waltz. Thank you. I'm going to butcher all these because
We all know the song.
y'all are
we,
way smarter than
Yeah.
me. Okay, for the final one on this card, science and technology is the category. This one is multiple choice. All right, the 1996 EV1 was the first mass-produced electric car from a major car company. What company made the EV1? GM, Chrysler, Ford, or Honda?
Is it EV1?
EV1. GM, Chrysler, Ford, or Honda. All right. Jeremy, what you got?
Ford.
Tony.
Honda.
And Anthony.
I also said Honda because I feel like an American car company would not do this yet.
The correct answer is GM.
Oh, I was wrong.
So none of you got the point on that one. All right, let's move on to the next card. Oh, let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's just start with Geek Life, multiple choice. Make it easy for you guys. If you don't get this one, I can't help you. Which two signs of the zodiac have the shape of the letter M? Sagittarius and Capricorn. Capricorn and Cancer. Virgo and Scorpio. Or Scorpio and Sagittarius.
I'm offended that astrology is lumped in with geek life in any way.
I'll make a note here on this card and mail it back to you.
It's very off-brand.
Yeah, which two signs of the zodiac?
I don't know. Whatever the last one you said,
Hey,
I'll
run
guess
through
that.
those options real quick, or
Okay.
those choices.
Sagittarius and Capricorn.
Mm-hmm.
Capricorn and Cancer. Virgo and Scorpio. Or Scorpio and Sagittarius. We're going to go with Jeremy first on this one.
I'll say Capricorn and Cancer.
Okay.
Just because Cancer's a crab and it looks kind of like that.
Okay. Tony, what you got?
Virgo, Scorpio.
Okay. And Anthony.
I also said Capricorn and Cancer.
The correct answer is Virgo and Scorpio. Tony takes it by himself. Well done, sir. Well done.
He might get the PS5 after all.
He might get it. It's a three-way tie right now. 2-2 and 2.
Ooh, a three-way.
Three-way. Look out, guys.
I'm getting
Okay.
excited.
Let's
I
go.
did not. This is not what I signed up for. Just by the way,
We surprised everybody. Yeah.
Okay. We'll be gentle.
Let's go video games and comics. This one is about a video game. In Plants vs. Zombies, which I hope you're all familiar with, what form of energy do players collect as currency? Plants vs. Zombies. What form of energy do players collect as currency? Anybody play Plants vs. Zombies before?
played it like once.
Once. And did you enjoy the one session that you played it? You must not have because
right.
you stopped playing.
I think I
All
played
right.
it on my phone, and I was like, meh, you know.
Yeah. Anthony, have you ever played Plants vs. Zombies?
I have not.
Oh, have you ever heard of Plants vs. Zombies?
I have.
Okay. Well, let's start with you then, since you've heard of it before.
Brains.
Okay. Tony, what you got?
Was it lightning?
And Jeremy.
I'm going to say photons, which would be packets of light.
I'm going to have to give this one to Jeremy because he's the closest. It was sunlight.
Oh.
It was sunlight. Remember the little suns that come down? And then you collect them. Okay.
That keeps me from my PS5. I'm asking for a recount.
He's going to challenge the results of this trivia game.
Okay, here we go. This looks like a D&D question. I can't tell. I haven't read the whole thing. Science and technology is the category, though. If you need to roll let me start over. If you need to roll 18 or higher on a 20-sided die to save your chaotic good dwarf from being consumed by a gelatinous mold, what percentage chance do you have of surviving?
I'll read it again. If you need to roll 18 or higher on a 20-sided die to save your chaotic good dwarf from being consumed by a gelatinous mold, what percentage chance do you have of surviving?
I'm assuming Jeremy's going to get this one correct.
So we'll go with him last then, if that's what you think. So we're going to start with Tony this time, the phone operator.
That is 3 out of 20, also known as 15%.
Okay. Jeremy, what do you have?
It is 15%, but it's also, it doesn't take into account the modifiers. So
It does not
rarely
take
would
account
you
the
roll
modifiers.
straight D20, but 15%.
Anthony,
I'm assuming that's the correct answer, but that's not what I got.
what'd you get?
10%?
The correct answer is 15%. Goodness. Okay.
Again, caveat being not accounting for modifiers.
Yeah.
Of course. We know. Yeah, we know.
Obviously.
All right. This is the last question. Right now, Jeremy is up by 1. If he misses this one and Tony gets this one correct, we will have to go to sudden death.
Ooh.
I will kill someone for a PS5.
Sure.
Well, he's right there below me. His name is Anthony Denard. He's got your PS5. All right. I don't know if I should. I do have multiple choice on this one, but I don't think I should read the multiple choice just to make it a little more difficult.
Okay. If I get this one right, do I automatically win?
I'll tell you what. If you get this one right, I will give you 2 points.
Oh, yes.
That will
All
put
right,
you.
go.
But if Jeremy gets it wrong, then you'll be tied. So then we'll have to do sudden death regardless. All right. The category is sci-fi and fantasy. Which legendary Knight of the Round Table does not appear in Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
Oh,
I will not read off the multiple choice. Which legendary Knight of the Round Table does not appear in Monty Python and the Holy Grail? Anthony looks like he knows the answer. Look at him. He is agreeing with that question so hard. Look at how much he's agreeing.
it's been so long since I've seen this movie.
I don't know the Knights of the Round Table.
Okay, do you want the multiple choice?
No, it wouldn't help.
It wouldn't help. Okay.
I don't think so.
Actually, it would help.
Okay. We'll start with the leader, Jeremy. What you got?
I don't know. Do they have Lancelot in there? I'll say Lancelot because I don't remember if he's in there or not.
Tony, what you got?
Gallivant.
And Anthony.
I think Lancelot is in there. So I'm going to go Sir Robin. I'm pretty sure is not a Knight of the Round Table.
Steve. We could just.
Okay. So the multiple choice answers, before I give you the correct answer, are Sir Galahad, Sir Kay, Sir Lancelot, Sir Bedivere. Am I saying that right? Bedivere. Yeah.
Boromir.
No.
That wouldn't have helped me any.
None of you got it right. The correct answer is Sir Kay. And in parentheses next to it, it says, apparently, he was not funny enough to join the cast.
Oh.
So
I
there you have it.
honestly didn't know Kay was actually a Knight of the Round Table. I thought it was just from Sorcerer's
Jeremy
Stone.
takes this one
Sword of
by a
Stone.
nose.
Well done,
4
Jeremy.
correct answers.
Usually it's me that wins this trivia every time.
You have never won.
I know this is my first show, but even I don't believe that.
Yeah, don't ever. You can't believe anything he tells you. Nothing.
Calm
Except for
down.
the fact that you're going to get a PS5 very, very soon. Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that we're not going to do is make fun of me the whole time. That's not going to happen.
Just at the end.
Right. Just at the end.
Just
Then we
at
can,
the end. Yep, that's it.
All right, that was the show, Tony. It was great to have you and your beautiful beard on the show.
Gorgeous beard. Yeah, I'm a fan of that beard. I want to make that beard an emote. Just make it an emote so I can post it in every chat that I ever go to.
I got you. I can make that happen.
Nice.
It does look like Adam is trying to have your beard. He just can't.
I used to have that. Actually, I used to have one much larger than that. But then COVID happened, and my job would not allow me to have it. So this is what I'm left with. Which you have more salt than pepper. I've got some salt coming in with the pepper, so I'm not far behind you.
Excellent. All right, that's it. That's the show. I still don't know how we end the show. How do we end the show?
I think you just walk out of the room, and then Jeremy goes into the turbo lift back there.
Tony, it was good to have you on. This was a blast.
I'm just gonna sit here awkwardly waiting for like an official ending. Like, are we done? What are we?
How about this?
Where can people find you, Tony?
Can I go
Yeah.
eat? Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you.
There you go. He's right there, guys. There he is.
Seriously, thank you guys for having me. I'm on Twitter at Tony P. Henderson. I host Tony P. Oddcast. It's a podcast that you can listen to wherever you listen to these knuckleheads. I'm also on YouTube at YouTube Tony P. Henderson, where I cover weird and wacky news.
And soon, very shortly after this stream, we will have all that information in that description. It's below. I think it's right below Anthony. If you'll cuddle it, Anthony, we'll put it there eventually.
Tony, before you go, what is your? I'm assuming you're also on OnlyFans. How do we get a hold of you on OnlyFans?
OnlyFans, everything's Tony P. Henderson. So OnlyFans, Parler, Tumblr, whatever.
Oh, and
Tony
YouTube
P.
has now
Henderson.
banned us. No, look at that.
I will be checking my mail. Thank you guys again for having me and for sending me a PS5. So I'll be keeping an eye out.
You should.
All right, that's
Thanks,
the
Tony.
show, everybody. I'll see you next week.